Welcome everybody. Welcome to today's video, which is based on magnetism, the Earth's magnetic field. There's only two people in this world at the moment who have put it on out there in the public, namely YouTube, the truth about the Earth's magnetic field. I've been doing it for a few years, but we came across this video. I came across the video Nigel Nehan Cheese, and I know he was onto it. I understood his videos, but I skimmed over the fact that at one point he showed the true Earth's magnetic field that I'd been showing. But maybe I wasn't showing it at that precise time. I understood it, maybe I hadn't fully exposed it myself in my mind, if you know what I mean. And anyways, I got to see this video again. Someone sent me a couple of years later, and I went over it again. It blew me down. There it is. He's showing it. So listen up, because you're going to learn the truth. You're going to know. You're going to realise that the Earth is flat. This proves it's flat, and the globe is all a lie. Everything about the globe is being fabricated, has been reverse engineered from the flat earth system, okay? And the flat earth can explain all physics, and if you go online and you delve deep, and you've got a mind to think, that is, you can ask tens, if not hundreds of questions regarding their globe theory, and it'll come back with, oh, we don't know this yet, physicists don't understand this yet, it's continuous. But I can give you all the answers to the flat earth physics. So anyway, so it's about the Earth's magnetic field, and it's been known since time began, and it's only been fudged in the last 100 years through your indoctrination system. You've all been indoctrinated, and most people believe all this garbage they're taught at school. So if you're well educated, you're fully indoctrinated. They will be the last to click on to reality. You try to question debate the flat earth system with the average young guy who's very, what you'd normally call intelligent. They're high up there in the education system, like an 18, 17, 18 year old, maybe at varsity. They are so far from the truth, it's laughable. It's just absolutely laughable. They have no concept of reality. Fully indoctrinated. So anyway, here's the truth. Let's say that's your spinning ball image there. If you believe in a spinning ball, if you're delusional enough. And that you are told that the magnetic field comes out of the south and flows all the way into the north. Comes out of here. A total lie. Why would they think that? Just think about it. Why? Because there's an in and an out field. That's true. There is an in and out field. So if you take a how can I draw that? An in and an out. Well, let's take a ring magnet this way. There is your infield, there is your outfield. So one is the north and one is the south. It's all about magnetism, right? And magnetism is an in and an out field. Going in to the place of convergence and a place where it's expressed out, so it will end up returning back in. But we're going to get into this returning thing here in a minute. So that's where they've got you there. So an in and an out. So let's say the globe theory has magnetism as an in and an out cycle. which is correct. Let's put a nice big red tick there, shall we? There's a big tick. 1. 2. Globe theory has the north and south on a magnet as equal energy. It's probably not wording it right. North and south on a magnet as equal energy or potential. Is that it, or IL? Whatever. Potential. Okay, and that is correct. Okay, but what they don't tell you is this. But in reality, a magnetic cycle is not equal. So this, although they say this is, I say this is correct, it's actually wrong. But overall it's correct. So you take a magnet, there's 5 there and there's 5 there. Overall it's equal. But a magnet works in cycles. It just, like the Earth, it runs on a magnet, it cycles, there's cycles. And it's like this. That's the southern cycle, there's a northern cycle. Many cycles within the magnet. So the truth is, it's phi. A magnetic field is phi. Or close enough to 3 and 2, which equals 5. It sounds like phi. It's not quite, but it's close enough. These are cycles, right? And we have an in and an out. But the truth is, I'm about to show you what this in and out is. The in and out cycle, this is what Nihan Nigel just showed us, is the field comes out of here and goes in there. And the field comes out of here and goes in there. And that's the truth. But he just assumed the Earth was flat, or he didn't want to delve deep and lose you all by telling you the word was flat, because he gets enough opponents on the internet, because the opponents are all the funded ones who are put there to push, to ignore and to derail the truth and derail flat Earth physics. And they get on there and make out he's an idiot. Okay, you've got to have thick skin to expose the truth, because there's so many liars out there who are funded to try and put you down and make you look like an idiot. But there's even more people out there freaking dumb as pig shit who go along with it. They're like sheep, they'll just gang up because they follow the sheep, you know. If all the sheep go that way, then all the dummies go that way. You'll only have a couple of black sheep coming this way who understand the truth. So they made him out to be a dick. But this is the fact. This is reality. What they don't tell you, which is their total lie, the globe lie, they call this the north and the south. How do they know that? If you're way up here in the northern hemisphere, how do you know south is way down here? Or if you're way down here in Antarctica, how do you know that's north way up there? Well, they don't. there's more bullshit, fudging, just like they fudge everything with the celestial bodies, like the distance to the sun and distance to the moon and distance to the stars, because they fudge this story, doubled up to fudge this story, and these two fudges put together creates this big fudge cake up here. It just goes on and on. They don't. The truth is, this is north as well. Both Arctics. You've got the Arctic and the anti-Arctic. It's just the opposite end of the north. It's basically a mirrored north. It's the returning north. The truth is, south is here and there. North is there and there. Both hemispheres have their own cycles. Magnetic field cycles. This is why we have two cycles in the night sky, separated by the neutral. So if you boil it down to physics, quantum mechanics, whatever, you've got your neutral, and in the neutral zone is where the proton is, the sun, because the sun is on the horizon of the black hole, and the black hole is the neutral, and outside you have the electrons. So you've got the electrons flying around in the magnetic field, and in the centre you've got neutral with the sun. That's where the sun's created in the flat earth system. In here, the sun is created between the tropics, and that's considered neutral. There's no magnetic field in the tropics. It's the dielectric, and this tropical region actually represents the black hole of creation, because creation all comes from the centre, right in there, the place of singularity, where everything just contracts back to nothing, where our realm has been expressed from, is the black hole. Neutral, the black hole. I mean, go check out your physics. They draw it like this. They draw it like this. Well, they make it look like a toilet plunger. It's really thin and comes up here like this. And they're telling you now, the Big Bang theory is wrong, because it's wrong. Well, their theory is anyway. You can say there's a bang when the sun is created. Bang, the sun is created. But this black hole image is supposed to be is a vortex, like this. And you've got the S curve of S curve, which is the cycle all the moon and stars take over the night. That's the night, but then you've got the rest of the cycle for the rest of the 24-hour day. There's your day. Look at this. We've got the sun's at limber over a year. The sun is created from a cross circuit, like this is basically the Milky Way. Comes down. This is the black hole center, and it's the Milky Way, but it comes out this way too. Everything in nature replicates creation. What does that look like? Looks like a banana. What does this look like? A boomerang. What does this look like? A kneecap. Well, in the Iliad, this is considered as the kneecap. There's the fruit, the banana. And in Aborigine Dreamtime stories, it's the boomerang, because it all goes back to creation. What's creation? Creation is the Milky Way. And it's got the sun in there. It's the fire-breathing dragon. Well, I'm here, I'll let you in on a secret. The fire-breathing dragon, they draw it with some stars like this. What are these? I'm no artist, but how would it go? Well, this is actually the Aborigine lizard. But you can create your own fire-breathing dragon here. And what do these represent? Well, there's the Milky Way. That's the Milky Way, and it's with the Aborigine lizard story, or the Maori. The Maori in New Zealand's got a lizard mythological story too. It all boils back to creation. It's all to do with the Milky Way. And these 4 feet here represent the positions of the 4 stars around Orion's belt. Okay, so you got Sirius, Regal, the Aldebaran, and then Betelgeuse. It's the cross through the centre star of Orion's belt. And it's all very divine, moment in time. All the Freemasons know about this, because some of you may have seen those freak shows the Freemasons put on in Sweden there, or somewhere up in the mountains. And you're seeing these guys dressed up in tight leotards, covering the whole body, and doing this stupid position of something like this or something. There's your 4 stars again, because they know all this stuff. They do all these freak shows displaying all this stuff to you people, but want to treat you as your dumb slaves and not reveal the truth. Okay? So the Chinese dragon has the feet similar to this. You got the Aborigines with the feet like this. You got the mythological stories of the Aborigines and the Maoris, who respect their lizard or geckos. For what reason? They don't even know. I can give them all the legends and all the secrets to all their legends. They don't know them. I've got the whole story of Rakia, the Stewart Island, why the earth is the long white cloud, all the stuff. But, you know, nobody knows me. So anyway, we've wandered away from the magnetic field, haven't we? Let's rub that back off. Let's get back to what the video is about, shall we? I always tend to wander off, because everything is linked. So it's hard to stay focused. This is why it's so hard to write a book. Start to write a book, and off she goes. It's like opening a can of worms. Oh, I get fed up, and by the end of the day I've lost track of what the heck I did earlier on in the day or the day before. So I do videos instead. So let's get back to the magnetic field. So the sun is created here through magnetic induction. Through the build-up of the magnetic field on Earth at the tropical regions, borderlines of Capricorn and Cancer. Okay? So there's your sun. It's in here. And little do people realise that anywhere in the tropics, no matter what latitude, the sun is always overhead of the observer, no matter what time of the year. There is no declination. Declination being the magnetic field, the curving magnetic field that the sun follows. And deep in science and physics, they tell you the sun follows the Earth's magnetic field. What do they mean by that? Well, because the Earth's magnetic field spirals out of the north, like I tell you, and out of the south. There's the north, there's the south. It spirals out of the south like this. And it spirals out of the north, mirrored image, around like this. That's declination, declination. If you follow just a compass bearing, you're going to follow this path all the way up to the Tropic of Capricorn if you left Antarctica. Okay? Or you'll follow this curve if you left the Arctic. It's a long journey. And guess why they invented gyro laser compasses? To avoid all that. Because they have all the readings down, so they just set a course for the ship and go whoop, straight, whoop, straight. Ooh. Just like you do in the tropics, the tropical gap. Because that's the only place on Earth that has a direct bearing north to south. If you get into the tropics with a compass, you're going to go dead north or dead south. So, but realise they are both souths. So where else is the magnet going to point to? It's either north or south, so whichever end you take your pick, it's going to be horizontal. And this is what we all knew and understood back in the day when it came to a dip compass. A dip compass will give you a level flat reading with the needle through the tropics. Specifically at the equator, it'll be dead level. Okay? But as you start wandering towards this boundary or this boundary, you're getting more into this field or this field. So what you need to understand is this is the weak force in the southern hemisphere because it's more widely dispersed. This is what they don't tell you, you see. It's a magnetic cycle. Overall, the magnetism around here adds up to what's in here. But this is all more confined, so it's obviously stronger. And that's why we call it north. That's north. Everything is governed on the north. Magnetic attraction is to the north. The point of convergence, well, actually, it's not even that. Convergence is between the tropics. Here's another diagram here. So we get the field coming out of Antarctica, flowing up out of Antarctica, and it flows up out of the north. They're both up. And then it's down, down in here. Down. Let's get rid of that, shall we? The field comes up to here and then just shoots straight down to the ground. This is mentioned hundreds of times in ancient books. Just off the top of my head, it's just the Iliad. But there's lots of other stories. There's the Fisher King story, where he goes fishing. They drop the line. They talk about the sons. Father, son, son-in-law. It's all about this thing here. We look up in the sky, that big yellowy orange thing. It's called a sun. The sun is in many places, but only seen in one. You've got to understand this. There's many suns. We all get our own individual image of a sun thanks to the black hole pupils in our eyeballs. So you've got the sun of creation back here. We do not see pure plasma inside the vacuum. There's your vacuum of the only space we need to know about, all the way up to here. Inside here is magnetically locked. This is the magnetic flux. We live in this magnetic flux. And this is the cross section of a slice through the earth. This earth is showing its expansion out to the south, but everything is relative to the observer, so the observer is not to know. But overall, there's a planned view. So relative to the observer, that's how it would look. It's all equal. And this is how the magnetic field works. Out of the Arctic, straight down to the Tropic of Capricorn. Out of the Arctic, that's Antarctic. Out of the Arctic, over and straight down the Tropic of Cancer. There's the other side. Okay, there's your centre north. There's your centre. There's the two norths. North, there's your northern circle. Then your gap. Then the gap. And then your souths. South, south. Okay? This is how the magnetic field works on Earth. Now, if you don't believe me, I mean you should unless you're indoctrinated. Go check out what a dip compass does. Dip compass. Okay? Because this is basically what this video is about. Because I've just been sent this video. So look it up. James Clark, he calls, oh, maybe it's about James Clark. He's calling himself James Clark, I think.
We're about 1 degree north of the equator and about to head into the southern hemisphere. So I thought that we'd take this opportunity to explore how exactly do you use a magnetic dipping needle?
That one item there
Here,
proves the Earth is flat, not a globe, okay? Now go check him out. Call him James, he's calling himself James Clark Ross. There's another shot if you want it. That's the old dip compass that was made in 1800 and something. And he's got a few other videos there, right? So he explains, he's showing you at the equator the needle's pointing horizontally, and then it'll start dipping as you come towards the boundary lines here. Okay? So imagine there's strong force, weak force. So one is going to go up, one is going to go down. But understanding the truth is they are both north poles on the Earth. The Arctics are both norths. And the tropical zones are the souths. And they have their own cycles. And there's the cycle. That's a half cycle. It's a golden ratio. Okay? What's the rest of the cycle? The rest of the cycle comes back around and loops into there again. That is one cycle. That's just your one meridian line, because every man is on a meridian from north to south. That would be your loop there. You'll get this image if you're just star trailing, because it's a mirrored image of what's happening up here in the northern sky. Because you've got a permanent rotation, which is the vortex, that black hole vortex I showed you. That's permanently turning 15 degrees per hour. This is why you have a permanent sky rotation, even though the Earth hasn't even turned 15 degrees. There's a permanent circle there, because it's an image of that circle already created up here. Okay? So all the stars in the north are actually the same stars as you'll get down here, but they're inside out. One view of the night sky is all the stars up there, then it goes like that. Now you're looking in behind the rear of it. Face. Now you're looking through the rear. You are looking through the stars, see all the stars this way. When in the north, they're looking at them this way. That's a bit too much for people to understand, but you know, it is reality. Understanding this in and out. Magnetism is in and out. Okay? These are the outs, there's the in. Now, in the tropics here, there is no magnetic declination. So you could be here, 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 or here, and the sun will always be overhead all year long, all year round. Because there's no declination, curving magnetic field for the sun to follow, so it's not going to be moving in there. Okay? But at this time of the year when the ball's supposed to be on this tilt, you'll get the sun overhead all the way down to about here, which is 66.6 degrees. But it's going to be low on the horizon up here in the north. But strange if the sun's out there 93 million miles away, and it's only high in December here, and always high there, low right there, high to here. But when you get south of 66.6 degrees, the sun is doing this and the observer's standing in the middle, and it's low on the horizon. How can the sun be going all the way around you? Well, you got to delve deep, and it comes back to this image here. There's a circular image, but because you're right down here at the furthest point, while the ecliptic plane is flexed right out, the sun is always right out there all the way around Antarctica. Because here's the true ecliptic plane. It flexes like this through the air. But this is full down and out. It comes up. I've gone the wrong way. I should have gone back up. It's like this. Like that. Not down in here. It's the flexing of the ecliptic plane. Up and in, there's the June solstice. The sun is permanently up in the north. We still see it further down, but and then the December solstice, the sun is permanently down here. With permanently down there, you're getting another, basically another cycle anywhere on a meridian line. There's your cycles. There's your south. You can be standing here, or you could be standing here and you're seeing the same rotation. But this guy here is hundreds of kilometers away from this guy. You're not going to cross paths. There's no one South Pole. It's all garbage. It's not even a South Pole. The South Pole is here, in the centre, which is 66.6 degrees. To mirror this, it can't be outside the earthly realm. It finishes here. You can call that 90. But we can't get there. We can't get to 90. They don't tell you this, but you believe you can, because you believe everything they say. Most people do. And you believe that you can get right to the centre Arctic. No, you can't. It's been named a place called the place of inaccessibility for a reason. You cannot get to the dead centre. It's still simple stuff. If you want to understand reality. But no, people are too focused on their master's education, leaving them fully indoctrinated. So, looking at this, how can Earth be a spinning ball? They don't even teach you the two magnetic cycles here. The two cycles. So, you look at this, and there's your sun's analemma. There's the cycle of the sun over the year. The figure 8. The only time we can understand creation and the truth is to look up. Look up. Look up. That means look up. That means look up at the duality. Look up at the duality. Dual. The northern hemisphere is smaller than the southern hemisphere. It's a magnetic cycle. Okay? So the sun doing one magnetic cycle. And then you start getting into the flower of life. Understanding the flower of life. You'll only understand all this stuff with a deeper understanding if you go to my Patreon and sign up to the saints. Otherwise you're just lost in a world of indoctrination. You'll never find the truth. I've got some old videos here and they all need editing. So they're not great, but I'm slowly getting through and trying to make things clearer, because when I first understood everything I could not express it properly for some weird reason, but I can read. I'm getting through the videos and I'm realizing, man, how can anyone understand what I'm saying? So I'm making it easier to understand, trying to cut down on the stuff that no one will ever click onto. I'm trying to make it as easy as possible. So there you have it, everybody. Globe theory has no tropical gap for magnetic induction. It's how our sun is created, in this gap, through magnetic induction. Okay? And that where the sun is one end of the Milky Way. The other end comes over and goes into the Arctic. This is what, see, the Milky Way comes over here and goes down here. There's your sun in there. There's your sun and respect where the two meet. This one meets this one. Bang. Bang. And that's where, boom, the plane of inertia is, the black hole. But we are expressed out of there, and now the black hole becomes this plane of Earth along here. That's the neutral zone between the north, a positive and a negative field, which all relates to magnetism, north or south pole. Okay, so there's sea level. There's, well, you've got it this way. And then you ignore this total overall image, break it down like a magnet does, or what's that other thing? Yeah, can't think of it. And then you come up into our realm when we live in this positive thing, and then think of the atmosphere, or below and above and below. Because Earth, you know, all the mountains and hills and stuff are reversed imaged in the sky through spectroscopy. It's like an eggshell. It comes apart. This is Earth. And we're in there, in between there. Believe it or not, I've got a video on it. And it's a scientific paper. It's like this. That's the realm above us. Through zenith cameras, vertical cameras, and spectroscopy, they detect the shape of the sky above, like this. The atmosphere is made up of 7 layers, like inert gaseous layers, and they're all changing. Thinner and thinner and thinner. They're getting ionized. They have to be ionized through lightning and stuff like this, between the two magnetic fields. Everything, this is the recycling system of Earth. Everything gets blown to this point, everything gets blown to this point, and then it all gets dragged up here. So don't believe in this global warming or magnetic Earth shift, flipping rubbish. It's never going to happen. Magnetic north is locked in the centre here, can't go anywhere, like a ring magnet. Where's this ring going to go? Can it wander off here? No, it's stuck in the middle. This is magnetically locked in the middle. And this here, which we know nothing about because we can't get in there, it's the vacuum, and nothing can be seen in a vacuum. There is no sound, so there is no light. There's nothing created there that we can see until it's in our created realm. It's the creator. We're the created. Everything is seen in our created realm. So north is magnetically locked in here, in this vortex here. Cannot wander off. Earth, I've made a complete mess of my image over here. Get back a bit, go back a bit. What was I going to say? Magnetism. This is my problem. I can lose concentration straight away, so I've forgotten. Anyway, look up this dip compass. He's explaining it all to you. So when you get near the Arctics, this dip compass is going to be vertical. Both Arctics, exactly the same. Proves they're both North Poles. You get up there, get down here, close to the Arctics. It'll be like vertical. You start heading towards the tropics. It starts leveling out. Okay? It proves the Earth is not a globe. How can it be a globe if you understand this? It all works with the flat Earth because there's no declination between here and there. It's dead flat. Oh, right, there it is. But it does start changing when you come out. All science tells you is the magnetic field is strong here and very weak here. They don't tell you that the magnetic field doesn't even cross over. They tell you it does. They say it does. They're telling you it crosses over and goes straight into there. Where's it in? There's no in up there. They're both outs. The in is here. You can't prove me wrong. Nobody can prove me wrong. So why is everyone ignoring me? Because that's the way it is. Maybe they're not ignoring me, they just shut me down. This is why I'm so shadow banned. My YouTube channel goes nowhere. And hardly anybody sees it. I get someone passing over it once in a blue moon. All the truth is here. understanding the ecliptic plane, the flexing of the ecliptic plane. It's all governed up here. The 2D plane at the top of the vortex. It's in there. That's the plane. And it flexes down or up and in. But the sun always stays fixed in here. That's where the black hole, the plane of the black hole, if you work on the dead flat plane, the magnetic field will flex up and it flexes down. The plane flexes down. The black hole does not. The sun stays there. The sun stays and just turns. But it's projected out into our realm via this Milky Way. So as this turns, the sun's turning around the black hole 360 degrees over 24 hours. And they try to tell you in science that the sun goes around the black hole every 25 million years. LOL. No, the sun goes around the black hole every day. It's what swings the vortex swings the straw in the teacup around the perimeter of the teacup. Horizon of the teacup, horizon of the black hole. There's your sun, we see. But that's refracted into all over the earth because the sun is in many places, only seen in one. But then we can go back to understanding how the sun is created. And it's through magnetic induction in this gap. Okay? It's created here, so we always have to imagine that it's there, but it's always brought back to the observer out here because of the curving field. It's called parabolic mirror projections, basically. And the crystal-like structure of the atmosphere, which is all based on water molecules. So that's why we get images. Everybody gets their own image. So it's like these TV screens or in photography studios. They're having the curved screen like this. If you curve that all the way around you, you'll get all these images. It's like being in that movie Enter the Dragon where Bruce was in the room fighting hands and all the mirrored. And they know. See, that's all connected to this because Enter the Dragon, entering the Milky Way, the dragon, it's going deep. You find all the information up here and here. Well, the dragon's the Milky Way and they've got all the mirrors and the mirror effect. They're always playing us. It's all on the screen there. Okay, so that turns and there's your sun moving around the earth. So it's your image is going to be moving around the earth. Well, this going that way, that'll be going. This is say east, west, sun, but in reality it's spiraling out of here in the northern hemisphere and it spirals out of the south. Anywhere, depends on which meridian line you live on. If you live on that one, that's your sun you're going to be seeing. Or you could be here, that's the sun path you're going to be seeing. Or this guy. It's all described in the physics book called the Bible, where they call this the plowshare, and that's the pruning hook, and there's the pomegranate, which represents the sun, because the sun is in many places. So in December 21st solstice, the sun is all the way around here. Everybody sees the sun way out here around Antarctica. Otherwise we get the glimpse of it somewhere up here, wherever, coming in from the east, coming over our horizon, going out to the west, before it loops and comes back around the next day. That's if we don't move. But if you want to track anything, you can track it all the way around here in the southern hemisphere. Get in a plane and follow the sun as fast as you can. The sun moving 1,000 miles an hour. You won't keep up with it, but you track it all the way around here. It circles the entire northern hemisphere because one rotation here is one full rotation here. This goes back to why they tell you the north and the south are the same. But they're not telling you there's a phi ratio difference in the magnetic cycles. Okay? There's a cycle of the sun over the year. That's the cycle of the moon over a month. And that's the cycle of the stars over a day. Now somebody, there's not too many wise people out there, has to convince Dave Weiss that the stars are not quicker than the sun. Okay? You've got to think deeper. Here's a star. You were told the stars are quicker. It's not. They are not. Here's the sun. Okay? Now, what if the sun was quicker? He's going to take off. Took off over to here. Now what's going to happen? What's going to happen the next night? What's going to fill the void the next night in the starry sky? More stars to fill the void. So the next night, you see these stars here and go, oh, flip, you've got all these stars here now. It must be quicker. Because the stars turned up 3 minutes 56 minutes earlier. Because the time is shot ahead, so time must be earlier for these stars. The sun keeps the time. He shot ahead 3 minutes 56 quicker, which means the stars are going to shoot up here to fill the void because the sun moves across the darkness. It's the backdrop. Out of darkness comes light, but the darkness comprehends it not. So the stars turn up. That doesn't make the stars quicker. It means time is shot ahead quicker, which is the sun. The sun is quicker than the stars by 3 minutes 56 minutes a day. And guess what happens at the end of the year? If the sun's quicker. The sun has gone right round. Actually does that over the year, if you look at the flat earth. But what happens, there's your circle, there's your cycle, the 360-degree cycle of the year, say. The star, and then you've got all the stars. Let's draw these stars. And let's say start point. Start your races. And there's your finish. Finish, okay? So off they go, and they're all racing together because there's only nearly 4 minutes a day difference, but the sun is slowly creeping ahead. And what happens? Anyway, the sun's raced ahead because the sun is on the inside track of the race course, the ecliptic plane. You can't beat the inside horse. He's raced around, out there and out there and out there and out there. So, yeah, so bear in mind that, you know, the sun and stars are going around every day, okay? So they're going around every day. But at the end of the year, the sun comes around and doesn't quite lap the stars. So all those cycles every day, you've got to imagine one cycle, one yearly cycle. So say one comes back to one full cycle. And the sun didn't quite catch up to lap the stars. So the sun is still quick, okay? So you've still got these slow stars at the rear end, the snake's tail, sitting just here. It's the tail end of of the snake. And there's the snake's, where would you put the snake's head then? Tail end of the snake. Up here too, but yeah, whatever. But anyway, the sun comes around, it didn't quite catch the snake's tail. This is why you see these old depictions of the snake swallowing his tail. That's a cycle. So, and this is the whole story of the hare and the turtle race. You know, Occam's razor has you all thinking this real simple, lower conscious state level of understanding, going to the simplest understanding. But the whole story is about this. The turtle and the hare. The hare is faster, but you all think the turtle won because you're seeing the stars. When it was the hare, it didn't quite lap the stars, the turtle. Okay? And then the turtle comes into a lot of other esoteric stories, nursery rhymes, and they're all telling you something, all telling you the physics of the earth, and no one understands that either. But you get to learn it all up here for only $20 a month. You don't have to stay there, but you sure get a lot of knowledge. I better leave it there because it's going to take ages to download. Probably days, but we'll see how we go. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to put a likes up and or subscribe. Excuse me. But the idea is to share it, because there's a lot of simple people out there who just going through life in lost in la la land, and they'll just be recycled again to have to come back and do it all over again. So if you want to help your fellow man wake up, you got to share the truth. All the Freemasons have woken up. They will share it amongst themselves. I'm the only guy out here exposing what they know to the public. Why stay dumb? Why not join the club? So when you come back round again and you have choices whether you want to come back or not. You come back whatever you like, however you like. But, you know, coming back knowing the truth puts you in good stead. You'll be one of those rulers up there. You'll be one of those freak masons. But you don't really want to act like those guys, do you? You don't want to be a genocidal freak.